Hello and welcome back to the Scions of the Summit dev playthrough. We've made some adjustments to all of those portraits that were having issues in some of the previous chapters, and our coder Voltaire was very gracious enough to send me a new patch. So that's what we're going to be using right now. Again, there's no guarantee that any of the future portraits are going to have issues or not, so I'm going to be using this time again to test some more. But anyway, let's get started with chapter 4. And as you noticed, we do in fact have the market now, so all the things you can purchase from here are a lot of basic items if you really need them. Right now I'm not going to be picking up any just because I don't have a lot of money on hand. We are going to go and give characters back, or at least the ones that had a bunch of ranged weapons and such. Just give them back all our weapons because of everything that happened last chapter. I normally actually don't use Searing Sands for Rodion. I've never had a lot of use out of it. Harsh Winds, again, is going to be very useful to us just because we might be needing to freeze certain enemies later on. I like to call this the bonk staff. It's basically it's just something to hit enemies with, and if you notice, actually with Rodion, is that he actually has very high strength, and just the idea behind it is that because, and I talked a little bit about this before, how he used to work for Grisha as, and it's implied that he worked as a wyvern rider at one point, and we'll kind of see that more in supports going forward. I'm gonna try to show off some of his, but basically he's kind of fighting against his strengths, I guess, but essentially his staff usage is going to be very strength based as opposed to magic based, but as of right now we're really not going to be having him bonk stuff too much. I do want him to be a secondary healer for right now, and just kind of have some backup for Feline. Again, I'm probably not going to be using Ali for right now. We'll see as we go. I don't think I have... I'm going to get this to Rodion, actually, the Talisman of Peace, just because he's not going to be attacking stuff much right now. And I'm actually going to be probably messing around some more with the like the chest keys and such, just because this chapter is going to have a lot of opportunities for that. But before we get into that, let's check to see if we have any support conversations. We actually don't, surprisingly, but again, we'll probably have to wait another chapter or so. But yeah, anyways, let's actually get started with the story, and then I'll mess around and manage items once we get onto the map. So as you could probably tell, this is a race map. So we do want to get to this point over here, and really we could just go multiple different ways, and this is probably, I will have to say, this is probably my favorite map out of all of the current demo maps, just because there's so many ways that you can approach it. You can go either one of these sides, and then you could even go down the front over here if you want to fight a boss. Normally I don't do that, but I'm going to be trying to show off grabbing all the chests while I can. And so I will say that I am not the best at necessarily grabbing everything on this map. I'm going to try my best to do so. I have been able to do it in the past, though it is doable. But anyway, I'm going to be checking to see what units I'm going to use. So yeah, we're probably not going to be utilizing Ollie for this map, unfortunately. Though he does actually have a an in-battle conversation with Joanna. He gets quite a bit of a boost from that. We do also have a conversation between another character who's going to be joining on the map fairly soon, but I won't be doing that either, just because I'm going to be sending Mithrius this way. Actually, I'm going to try to mess around with this because it's a little challenging to actually remember how to do this, because I go about this a lot of different ways, actually. So let's see here. I'm gonna send some of these characters a little bit further this way, which I don't really need to use. This might be a little tricky, but yeah, because I normally don't send Joanna this way. Actually, one moment. I had to step away for a moment, but I also took a little bit of time to do a bit of management off screen, so that everything is in place. Hopefully we can do this map properly in one go, but we'll see. Alright, so as we see here, it has to be Mithrius that takes the throne. So there's multiple ways that you can approach this map, as I mentioned. Some people might just take one side over another, but I'm actually going to go both ways, because I do want to grab all of the goodies on the way. So let's see here. Just have to get used to doing this all over again, just because it's been a while since I've played through some of these maps. Here. Yeah, I think I should be able to handle this. It's just this first turn that's a little bit tricky to get everything down. Just because I have to get rid of a bunch of different enemies and make sure that certain ones aren't going to be causing too many problems. Okay, that's a problem. This guy might go after Feline. This might be an issue, but hopefully it doesn't cause too many problems. This guy actually has Javelin. So I can actually put people in range if necessary. So what I like to do here. There we go. I'll try to have Joanna get a couple kills. Just because again I do want to use her. Start moving. Mina doesn't get completely screwed over. Okay, this guy actually surprisingly went there. Okay. It's actually not the worst. Okay. That's probably why. Great job, Thros. And this is our recruitable character. I will say that Retro Gamer was the one who decided to go for this new design for Guillemar, so make of that what you will. We do actually want him to be recruited, so let's give this guy. Okay, thank you, Feline, for doing that. She's got a really good level up too. So we're gonna try to start moving up this way. That's actually pretty convenient. Start moving people up this way. So this is Guillemar. He's basically a mage knight of sorts. He has a very interesting personal skill that we actually buffed a bit, because originally it was just that he became what is effectively like an infantry mage for his movement if he's close to, or within the space of, or two spaces of two allies. But we did add the extra damage just because there's really no use for this skill if it's just for the terrain bonus on certain maps, especially the indoor maps. So we did decide to give him something a little bit extra overall, and we do give him a couple of interesting weapons. So this magic missile here is basically the equivalent of the smite tome that we got earlier for Feline, and so hopefully Guillemar can be of some use in later maps. I actually do get quite a bit use out of him, or I have in the past with some of my previous friends, so this guy is gonna maybe cause some issues here, but I'll just hold off for right now with Mina. Just kind of getting into position here. It's actually over here, so what we probably want to do is put Joanna clicks here and start attacking this. I do want for her to not have the javelin in place so she doesn't get doubled by this guy over here, but which won't cause any issues. We don't want to be attacking Lila just because she'll start doing damage. Okay. We actually don't want to open up this area on the right just yet until Lila's moved up a little bit further, because she'll actually start coming in through this area here. So we'll just wait on that right now. Just gonna get some more kills with Joanna in the meantime. And then get Rioska in a position, because I do want him to move up here to grab these chests. So be a little mindful about the placement of some of these units. See, I think I do have. Yeah, I have one of the here. Start moving people this way. I'm gonna try to face tank this mage over here. Chris can just stand there menacingly. The only problem is this unit right here. It might cause us some issues. Actually, don't want to be wasting too much in terms of uses for this enemy. So this guy can actually, Aster can handle this enemy. No problem. So we're just gonna hold off on moving up. So we actually got another light tome for Feline. Just gonna keep moving up with everybody. Try to get up here as quickly as possible. Now that Lila's over here, I can start moving in. And she won't be coming in this way. So if I can get rid of this guy over here first, because this one might cause a little bit of a problem. I can actually handle it like this. Hopefully this mage over here isn't going to cause too many problems. And even if we did, we have already on over here to help out. Okay, so this guy's gonna cause a couple problems for us. It's an issue. Okay. Crisis averted, mostly. Okay. That's why I need to make sure that I know where I'm going with this, because I don't want to. So we can actually make this a little bit easier on ourselves. I'll actually just use the dagger for right now. Should actually get me into a pretty good position. Hopefully. Some of these enemies will cause some problems. So. It's probably a good call to have. But you want to go up here. Let me see how far it is. It's gonna take her a little bit to get up here actually. Get the chest key actually, and then move up here. Don't think we should have too many issues going forward. This might take a little bit extra time to deal with certain enemies here. Sorry if I'm not talking too much, I'm just trying to get to some of these areas a little bit more quickly. Just because I know that can cause a couple issues. Actually, don't need her to go here. I'll probably use just a couple of these. Just trying to be able to get to stuff in time. Just let's get fully in here. Can't really do much with these two right now. I think it was the mage's placement earlier that made it a little bit challenging, but I don't know if anyone has a door key actually. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think we should have too many issues. Another thing is that you might notice that these bishops and some healers kind of have some really odd decisions that they make for movements. But essentially, it's an LT issue, unfortunately. Not much that we can do about that, because again, it is a bug, but they do plan to, I guess, make changes at some point. Or, well, they don't plan to make changes. Just because it would cause some issues for their projects that have whatever AI that they do. So yeah, unfortunately it's not gonna, there's gonna be no changes. So you have to live with some of these enemies just making odd decisions. But anyway, that should be it. Pretty straightforward grabbing everything, but yeah, that should be all the chests. I'm not going to be fighting off all the enemies though, we're just going to end the chapter like this. It's actually a pretty straightforward chapter, but our next chapter coming up, chapter 5, is going to be a little bit interesting, and I'll talk a little bit more about the things that go into that map next time.